Okay, this is Warren, and we're going to give you a quick article here. And the question has been asked numerous times on how exactly do we track investment dominator conversion rates? And when we say conversion rate, we're saying for, let's say we send out so many mailers in Lee County, we want to track how many times those neutral letters that we send out to Lee County actually end up being offer requests, going from prospect to mail letter one, and then finally mail letter one to pending preliminary research status. So they actually end up as offer requests. We're trying to track that in Investment Dominator. We don't have currently a report that tracks that, but there is a way that you can do that using the not only the advanced search capability, which is up here in your land deals area, but you can also track your conversion rates, how many times, how many offers are being found in Lee County, how many are found, let's say, in Harnett County or whatever counties you're working with. You want to track your conversion rates. The first thing you want to do is create what we call under customize, we're going to create a tag, and we're going to call the tag, let's just say campaign 1. So we say add tag, and campaign, let's go campaign -1, right? So we're going to add this campaign, and the way we're going to use this is when we actually import records into Investment Dominator, we're going to put campaign 1 by those particular records, right? And let's add this campaign. And basically, it's going to show up as a tag. So we'll go to the very end here, and here it is, campaign 1. So this has been added. So every time we import into Investment Dominator and records come in under prospect status, if you were edit one of those records, you're going to go down here to the tags area, and you should be able to see that campaign 1 that came in. Now, what that's going to look like in your Excel file. This is an example of an Excel file. And all you're going to put over here is you're going to add another heading. See, these are all of your 11, required headings and required columns of data that must be there to go into Investment Dominator. But you can create another tags, and that can be found, just so you make sure you understand, under your help and search our user guide, and we'll just say import. It's going to bring you up to a series of articles, how to import your list for land investing. This has all of your possible fields that you can put in your import. Now, what we're looking for specifically is that one that I just said, which was tags, which probably is right at the very end. Yes, tags. This is a required field. So you can say tags, and within that, you can just put the word, this is the tag that we just created in the Investment Dominator. And for all of these records coming in, this tag is going to be associated with all of these records, right? So essentially, when I import this now into Investment Dominator, campaign 1 is going to be associated with this record. So the beautiful thing about that is that now wherever my records go, as they're imported into Investment Dominator, I will always have those tags on these records. Let's just say we tagged these 3 records here, or these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So we go into our tag, and I'm just going to tag them manually as though I imported them. and you go to the very bottom. This is the one I created my tags in, I believe. Okay, perhaps it was this one. Yeah, I think it was this one, campaign 1. Okay. So this is the one that I created the campaign in, so we're going to pretend this is the one that we tagged on our import. And campaign 1, there it is. I'm gonna say confirm the tag. So if I imported this, the same exact situation would have happened when I go in and I edit the record and I go down to my tag section. Here you can see campaign 1. So whether I imported that or I just manually put it in, it's still associated with campaign 1. Okay, so now all you do for the last part of your keeping track of your conversion rates for this particular county, whatever county it is we might be dealing with here. We're dealing with Lee right now. What you're going to do is create 3 advanced searches. So you come up here to this advanced search area, and all you're going to do is you want to look for your tag, contains or equal to, this one is contained, and you want it to be campaign 1, right? So now, because this is an advanced search, you can add a rule, which is going to add another ability for you to search on another search criteria. And the status is equal mailed letter 1. So this is your first, and you want to name it now. You always want to name it. So campaign 1 mail 1. So that's the name of your first search. And we say okay. So anywhere where we have mailed letter 1 status and you have campaign 1, the tag is campaign 1, and it's in mailed letter 1 status, we'll be able to find that record. All right. So we want to select another advanced search. It's going to be 3 different advanced searches here. Tag again is equal to campaign 1. You add a rule, and status this time, if status is equal to pending preliminary research. So this is any of your offers now. If you're in an offer request status, but you have campaign 1 record, which means it came through that campaign, you want to save it again. So campaign 1 pending. So that's pending preliminary research. You hit OK. It's going to save all of your searches. So under here, see, we've got campaign 1, mail 1, and then we have campaign and pending preliminary. We're saving all of our saved searches here. And then finally, one more advanced search. I want to say tag. Okay. Contains campaign 1, add a rule, status. The third status that you want to make sure you have is complete ready to sell. So that means whatever's in campaign 1, and when the status is complete ready to sell, this is your third place where you want to save these searches again. So again, campaign 1, and then sell We'll just leave it like that. And you save that search. So now you've got 3 different searches in here. And what's this going to do for us? So at any given point, any of those records, when any of these records change status from, mail letter 1 to pending preliminary research, any of these records that we tagged, all right, you can determine how far they made it in the actual process. Did they only make it, mailed letter 1, but you never saw them in campaign 1 pending preliminary research? They never, they were mailed letter 1, but no one even asked for an offer request. So they would not ever have gotten to campaign 1. But if they got to campaign 1, then, this search, whenever we do a search for this particular sequence of records, first would be mail letter 1. We'll do a search for that, and we can see which ones, actually, made it to mail letter 1. Then we can do a search for the campaign 1 that made it to pending preliminary research, meaning someone at least asked for an offer request, right? So we can see out of all the ones we imported, how many of these actually did they ask for an offer request, right? So at least they got an offer request, asked for. Then finally, how many of these, when we do a search for those that are in complete ready to sell, now we know that our complete ready to sell, those are the ones that not only did we get a contract accepted, but we're starting to market this property. So now these are the ones that we got a contract accepted on, if it's campaign 1 and complete ready to sell. So anytime we do a search for, our campaign 1 guys, we know that's associated with, whatever county, in our case, it would be Lee County, right? Because these are the records that we have tagged, right? So we know which ones made it to offer request, pending preliminary research, and then we know the ones that actually made it to selling, where we got a deal and now we're marketing that. And then obviously when we sell that property, right, it's going to go from the complete ready to sell to the found buyer open escrow, status. So we've actually sold that property. And obviously, the next step would be change the status to sold, right? That's ultimately what we want. So this is a way that you can track to see what stage each of your records from prospect status, how they make it through the LPG process flow, and how many of them actually end up in the complete ready to sell, where they're ready to sell and you are also ready to market those properties. And this is basically how you will be able to track conversion rates in your investment dominator without us actually having a report. Hoping this was helpful for you. And any questions, you can always hit us up on the webinar on every Monday or Thursday afternoons.